Okay, again, we're going to work with the events one. And then what I wanted to talk about first is graphics. I know last week we talked about using my wife's photo, and then we cropped it, then we added some tint in there. But for this example today, we sell some things in the Triton Museum, so I wanted to add that in to the events and sales section. And one of the things you can do is instead of downloading and including the graphics on your page, you can link to graphics on the internet. So again, if you look at the code here, and I'm going to highlight the Triton Museum here and go to the code view for a moment. The graphic itself is being linked directly from their page. Okay, now that could be good or could be bad. Of course, the good thing is if they change their logo, hey, it'll automatically update as long as they name it the same. Of course, the bad thing is they remove that and it's not going to show up on your site. But my whole point here is that you don't necessarily always have to download graphics and include them in your site folder to include on your page. You can do a direct link to a graphic that is on the internet. In fact, what I used to do is I used to make a slideshow. Remember the slideshow that we did with the jQuery? But instead of using the jQuery, what I used to use is Flickr. Flickr. And you could build a slideshow in Flickr and then take the link to the slideshow and put it on your page in Dreamweaver, and then the slideshow is directly coming from Flickr. No, Flickr's done away with that. You can't embed a slideshow anymore into your page. So that's why I don't show that anymore. But you used to be able to do that. I'm sure there might be other tools out there that do the same thing, but that's what I used to do. Again, if you notice, all you need to do is link to the graphic. So how did I get the link to the graphic? Well, if you go to, of course, go to a page, let's say, in this case it was the Triton Museum. Here's the logo up here in the upper corner. If you right click on it, you say view image, and then here is the link. I copied that link and pasted it in Dreamweaver right where the image tag was, right here, right where the image tag, right in here, and that's how I put the logo onto the page. Now, to get it to be the right size, we have a photo, and I did a CSS where I made the width 100%. I think I demonstrated it already, right? Remember making a graphic that will scale, and I made the width 100%. So again, you don't necessarily have to use graphics that you download and include in your folder. You can go directly to a file that you find on the internet, and most pages you can find files like that. So you might have photos on Flickr or something like that. You can post them there and then link to them there. Again, the CSS for this is right here. Grid main photos image right here. See it? And 100% width.
And if it was too big, let's say for some reason the image was huge, you could just make it 50%? Would it still...
It's going to be whatever the dimensions of the div tag is. So this is 100% of the box it's in. So
sometimes we don't provide sizes for our div tags.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have it. You need to make the div tag a certain size.
Yeah, in this case, at least for this example, I have the bar on the side over here that's like 30%, right? And I take the graphic and I put it in there, and it's 100% of whatever this is. So if we preview it, you'll notice that the graphic does scale too. Oh, and then I failed to mention the back in the Stack Exchange. Remember when we were making the menu items in Dreamweaver, and there was the white gap between the header and the navigational bar? Remember that? That answer's on Stack Overflow. I found it. So those of you who got the white space problem, the answer was there. It has to do with HTML5. Okay, so look up white space, navigational bar, white space, HTML5, and I'm sure you'll find the answer to that. Remember the white space gap that we were all having? It looked like a pretty easy fix. Sorry, I failed to mention that one. I probably have this space here too. It's probably right here. We just don't notice it because it's a white box with the navigational bar. Okay, the first thing I wanted to talk a little bit about, at least with this example, is the title. Okay, remember I talked a little bit about how the bold text gets really bold. When it shrinks down to a smaller size, I want to change the weight of the font and maybe even the size. Okay, again, so you understand the graphic one? I don't need to go over that anymore? You just make a link to a graphic. If you make it 100% and make it fit in the box, is what I would say is the best to do. Okay. What I want to talk about next is we're going to code this a little bit so it changes as it shrinks down. Okay? So, on the events page that I'm working on, again, there's some text that's right over here in this area over here. It's heading 1. Okay? So, keep in mind, I'm using an external style sheet. So if I make a change here, it's going to change on all the other pages. If I have a heading 1 on, let's say, an index file and things like that. Okay? So what I want to do is have and change this one. Again, it's an H1 tag, H1 right here. So right now, it's, let's start with the cell phone one. So I'm going to click on the cell phone one, and I'm going to hit the plus button right here. I'm going to make a new one. Click on the cell phone one, and hit the plus button right here. It jumps, I know it jumps a little bit, that's okay. Then click over here, and then click on the cell phone one again. I don't know why I have to do that. And where did it go? Now I don't know which one it is. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have clicked on that. Let me click. There we go. Click inside there. I don't know why you have to click like multiple times.
Do you have to like click on the white on the right?
I did that already, yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'll show you what I clicked on. I clicked here to add it, and added it in. Then I clicked over here in the white area, and then it did it. But then it jumped to the full screen one, and then I clicked down here to start the mobile one again. And then I clicked in here to make sure it's using the right one. Whew. Sorry, I don't know how to explain it any more than that. But this should be the mobile one for that. Then we'll do, again, the iPad and then computer one. So for the mobile one, I want to adjust the text. In this case, the font should already be defined, but it doesn't seem to be defined already. I forget which one I was using. This one. Or was it this one? Or was it this one? Definitely wasn't that one. That one looks good. I think it was using the gill stands. Again, you can change the style. There's of course normal, italic, oblique. You can change the weight. There you have normal, bold, bolder, lighter, and then you have all these different 100s there. Okay? These are common ways to add weight or boldness to your text. Okay? A 200 is kind of a nice thin version of the font. But you might want to go through and see them. I think 200 is a nice starting point. If you see, you can go up to 500, 900, 700. Nope, doesn't seem to be changing anymore. The 200 seems fine now. Down here for font size, again, you can use an M space. If you put 1M in there, it's going to be small. What was 1M again? 16. Okay, so it's kind of tiny. Again, you can type in a 5. Woo, huge. It's 5 times the size, that's why. Because think about it. If it's 16, 1 is 16. If you have 5 in there, it's 5 times 16. Right? Okay. You can also use partial. 1.5. So if you're going to do 1.5, you put a point in there. If I could get it to do it. How do I get it to do it? Oh, I guess it did it. I don't know. Or, of course, a 2. I think the 1.5 was a good one for a cell phone. It's kind of big. But, again, if we preview, let me save all. That's a little thin. It's the 200 that's driving it. And of course there's some space in there. We have to add some content in there. So that's why there's a big gap here. One thing about the cell phone screen, I like to use kind of a sans serif font because the cell phone screen is kind of small. And sometimes people might have an older cell phone that without the retina display. Okay. So kind of a text that is like this, and notice how it's straight across without having to wrap in the cell phone version, like it was doing before. If you saw before in the cell phone version, in the beginning example, it was wrapping, right? So trying to get it to fit all the way across like that would be nice, so people can see it and read it all the way across. So I think, but of course, if I'm looking at this on a computer screen, that's way too small for that, though, right? So we need to go through and add one for the iPad and for the computer. Again, back into Dreamweaver. I'm going to go with that for right now. Again, all I did was change the font. I added 200 for the font weight, and then the size was 1.5 M's. So let's go through and do the one for a tablet. For the tablet, I'm going to click on the tablet option. And I should be able to so I'm going to click on the tablet option. I'm going to hit the plus. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to see. So this looks right. I think I'm in the right one. It says tablet size. Again, click inside the font here. In here. So again, I added it, and then I clicked a couple times here, and then I clicked in here to make sure I'm in the right one. Notice I'm going to go to my font. I'm going to choose the same font that I used before, which one did I have? Was it Gotham? Oh, no, it was this one, yeah. So I used that, and then of course the size was too small. So I'm going to go to maybe a 3. That's pretty big. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's kind of big. Maybe a 2. And then the weight was 200, maybe even go up to 400 and see. It's a little bit bolder. You won't notice until you actually preview. Really, you can go into live view, I guess. See what it looks like. That doesn't look too bad for a. That doesn't look too bad for a tablet. You might even go a little bit bigger, even. So it goes. I'm trying to get it so it goes over to almost the edge. You know, I'm going to fill the space a little bit. So, and I'm not using a percentage. I'm using M space. So, how about we put 1.2.1? I don't know if that really. I guess we can preview. Save all. Preview. So that is tablet. Oh, it didn't.
It wasn't global the whole time. I think it went to the.
It didn't do my cell phone one. What happened to my cell phone one?
I think that you overrode it, 'cause I think that.
Oh, it was so beautiful. I overrode my cell phone one. It's so nice. It was
I bet
so.
if you go to your code, you can change it.
It was so nice. It was so nice.
Can't you just trash the other one that you just did?
I got 3 of them. I don't know which one to trash.
But you can tell by the size of the M when you select.
This one's global. That one's global. That one's global. They're all global.
If
Yeah.
you click on the top one, and you look at what your N's are, it'll know which one you want to trash. That's the one you want to trash.
This one.
Yeah, because it says that's the 2.1 M. If you click on the next one, it's 1.5 M.
This is my cell phone one. Yeah. This is the one I want for my cell
What's the
phone.
first one?
This is the one I just made. This is a different one.
Joe, what's the reason you don't want to use a percentage?
Because the percentage doesn't always work and look right. It looks kind of, you know, I don't know. I think the M size is going to be much more universal, and it'll change according to people's browsers.
But if you, for example, you set a 2M in the mobile, and then you, desktop, you need to set the more than that, right? Like 4M or something like that.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do, but
That'll work.
it's not cooperating. Okay, so
If you use the percentage, it should be the same, right?
well, you could use percentage if you want.
Well, I never use it, so I just
Oh.
thinking about easy way, laptop and mobile, if you proportion it and then use.
Yeah, but there's a lot of problems with percentage, is what I'm trying to say. It's not. Let's say somebody can't see the screen very well and they need to go into the browser and adjust the font size. The percentage will have a problem with that.
So they are fact.
Okay. When people are using the browser, they can adjust the size of their font in the preferences. With the percentage, it causes problems. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just pointing out. I'm just trying. Okay, let me try and fix this problem here. This was such a nice one right there. And I can't get rid of it. Okay, I guess I'll have to go into code view to try and fix this.
So what worked for me, which is to click on the on the header, and then when you have it highlighted, click on the only screen, the media query one underneath global.
Hold
and then
on.
hit the plus for a selector.
So
And
click
then-
here. What?
So click in your header. Now click on only screen and min width at 481. Click on that. Now click on your plus
Now,
under selectors. Now that should be the selector for your tablet size, and then style that.
What font was I using? This one. Okay.
change your color so you can make sure that you get it right.
That's a good idea. So this is my tablet one I was trying, right?
Yeah.
And I was doing what for tablet 2.1? And you're saying color? We'll make it deep red. Okay, so I have to go back and change my global one. What I have 1.5 for the mobile one, right? That looks better. That's what I want. See, nice and thin. Oh, and there. For tablet, it would be about like that. And it's pretty good for the computer. Maybe make it a little bigger for the computer. What do you think? Yeah. And then here was the main page. So you can see there's a lot of text here. It wraps a little bit. But when you get small, it's kind of nice with the cell phone one. Do you see that? Probably make it so this doesn't wrap. I would like it to be just like that. I don't know. I'd have to test it on there. Oh, and I failed to put that down. And then the last one would be what for computer. So click on this one first. And then this. How do I know it's going to do that one?
I don't know. I just go to the click on the bottom.
I'm
click
clicked
inside
on
the
this.
header.
I'm clicked on this.
Are you inside the header on your with the H1 up? Yeah, and then click on the screen width, and then make a selector for it.
Okay, we're going to try. Cross our fingers. So I am going to this one. Should we try 600? Hey, let's make it a little bolder. So let's do 2.5. And then let's change the color so we can see it change. Dark blue. Okay, let's try that. Oh, looks really nice. I like the font in my cell phone one. There's my tablet. And then here's the computer screen. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to change the font according to the size. And if you notice, once you do it once, if you click on the home, it takes on the same characteristics because this is H1 and it's external style sheet, right?
Can you go all the way down to the very bottom and see the cell phone? Okay, the cell phone, there we go. And that's a tablet, and then, yeah, there's not much difference between them. But that's what I was hoping we could accomplish right now. I really, I'd rather just your sister goes to school here? That's nice, so we can come together.
You guys okay? Did you get this up font to change? So again, on that computer over there is a newer version of the program, and when she clicks, it selects
Is it
the,
right?
it does it right. Yeah.
In the same
So it must be this, like if I click here and here, it automatically has this highlighted. If I click here and here, it automatically has this. Well, it seems to be working. Jeez, look at this. Click here and here, and it has this highlighted. I don't know why. Now it seems to be working. Click here, here. Look, that works. Here, here, that works. Jeez, now I'm clicking and it works. Oh. Okay, let's move on. I'm sorry. But you got the font to change in all three, right? That was the goal. Okay, and we got the picture from another website, right? Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about body copy down here. So, if I put my cursor at the end of the text and I hit return with the keyboard, it's going to make a new line. And that new line is going to have a P. A P. Okay? At the end of the line, and I hit return, right? It's going to make a P tag. I can use that P tag to format whatever text that I put in there, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so kind of the same thing. I know we're going to pull our hair out trying to get this to work, but the body copy, I want to do kind of the similar thing where I want text to be a certain size, maybe for at least for the cell phone one. I want to adjust it. Maybe not for the tablet and the computer, but down here I want some text that's going to talk about her events. So I was going to have some text, and I'm just going to randomly put some text in for right now. I wanted to have some text in here. Okay. So I randomly put some text in there, just to fill it in. What I want to talk is about the fonts and the line height and things like that. Okay? Now I already have some formatting on this. This box is called main info, and there is a P tag attached to it already. How this is done is because in the index one, I've already applied some font. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the line height and things like that. So there's already been some formatting applied, and you'll notice if I click on it, if I click here, you'll see that there is some, and I don't know why I can't get it to go there. Let me try this. There we go. No, looks like it's different. Oh yeah, it is. It's different for the computer. It's different for the cell phone, but if you look at the tablet, it doesn't have anything. And let's look at the desktop one already has one. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is I already applied a desktop one. So if you click on, I randomly type some text. I hit the desktop option here, and there's already been some font information included. It says this font, this size, and this is the line height. I wanted to talk a little bit about line height here. So let me preview this so you can see. If I preview this, there's some problems. Some of the problems with the text, of course, is it's running into the area over here. Do you see that? Because of the wrapping, right? See how it comes all the way over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so how can we fix that? In addition, it changes to a different font when we get smaller. In addition, it's kind of an ugly font, and it has a very large X height, and so the X height is the measurement of a lowercase letter. Okay, so whatever font this is has a very big, and it makes it hard to read. I know this is not text that you can read, but by looking at it, it is. So in this case, and let me pause this video here. Okay, again, let's start with the desktop one. Desktop. So right now, the text comes over too far. So, and I don't like this font. Let me go to this Gill Sans. That's a little bit better. In addition, I'm going to increase the line height to 1.5. In doing so, the 1.5, you'll notice I'll get a little bit more line height between the letters. Again, if you do 1 and 1 for line height, watch what the problem is there. Look how tight it is. You know, if somebody was trying to read this, look how tight the font is. See it right here? How tight it is. So again, usually I would give it more line height. So I might put a 1.4. How about that? Let's try that. And if we preview it, maybe 1 point. No, that's pretty good. So again, you can adjust the space between the lines using the line height. Okay? In addition, we want to change the size. We can come up here to the width, and we can actually use a percentage. Oh, that's not enough. Let's do 90. There we go. That looks pretty good. So I can adjust the width, not of the font, but of the. So again, I'm on the P tag, which is this. Remember, I hit return and made a paragraph, right? I hit return, made a paragraph. I'm adjusting the P tag or paragraph, which is this text right here. And I was adjusting the font. I was adjusting the line height, but you can also adjust the space. So this is 90% here. This is 10%. Notice how it's on the grid too. So it's under layout width. You can adjust the width of the font so it doesn't go all the way over. Doesn't that look better? Doesn't go all the way into the logo, right? It still scales because we're using a percent for the width of the box.
So when you say the width is 80%, is that left justified for 80%?
Yeah. The font by default it's left justified. But you don't have to say left align here. By default it's going to be left align. But what I'm trying to say is if it's at 100% here, which is the default, 100% of the box, the text starts going into the logo area over here, right? Starts going in over here. If I go to where the width is of the P tag here and change it, I did it 90%. 90%. If I view it, you'll notice now you have this nice space here. You might even do it with this text up here too. I didn't think about that.
Can you center it too if you want it more centered?
More centered?
Like if you don't want it left justified.
I mean, you can center your font. It'll be hard to read though.
No, not the font, okay.
Not the font. No, I know, but
The,
yeah, I wouldn't do center a line. If you want to move it over a little bit, you can use the. You can probably put a margin in there, so it moves it over a little bit. If you want that, you can put a margin in there, so it's not all the way to the edge. Nice little margin there. Nice little margin. And of course, I need to adjust it for the cell phone. But do you see how you can adjust your font? Your font in your box is very important. Okay, the readability of your text in there needs to. You gotta think of line height. Is what my important thing is. Line height, so you have a nice space between your lines. Okay, in the old days, let's talk old days when we use points. In the old days, when we were laying out text, okay, we would write it like this. What this would tell me is the size of the font is 14 and the line height is 16. That was in points. So we always tend to make the line height bigger than the font size. Okay, bigger than the font size. So go and change the one for the cell phone. So let's go and change the one for the cell phone. So we did that for the screen. For the tablet, I might, it automatically adjusted the width there for the tablet, didn't it? But the font is wrong. And what was my size? Don't remember. Was it 1M, and then for the line height I had what? Thank you. And this, I don't know why it's 67. I want it to stay on 90. Oh, I guess 90 is not the best, huh? It's gonna scale it. Pushed it down. Oh, this is changing the box. Oh, let's undo this. Oh, changing the wrong settings. When I can't undo, can I? No, I messed it all up. At least I didn't save. There we go. Revert. How about that? Revert will go to the last time you saved. Revert. File revert. But that didn't fix it. It's still messed up. This is, what was it, 67, 61? Oh, jeez, I can't fix that, can I?
61.878.
Thank you. So I don't want this stuff in here. Wrong spot. Wrong spot. Wrong spot. Wrong spot. I want the P tag. So here, here. Let's click on this. There's my P tag. Click over here. Here. I want, where's my font? That looks better.
Does anyone else's M change to pixels after they enter the number in? It just keeps on, every time I put in a number, it changes it from M to pixels.
Hmm.
It's so weird.
You might save and restart the program.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then, of course, the cell phone one,
What's the width of the tablet? Is it 90 or just leave it at 60?
I didn't mess with the width at all.
Okay, okay.
Leaving it default, whatever it is. So for the cell phone one, I'm gonna use I like this font, but I'm gonna save, I might make a lighter font. And you can use dots. That looks pretty small. I don't know, it looks pretty small. Let me see what it looks like when we preview. Changed it all, didn't it? Evil. Evil. Because I didn't give it a weight in the other ones, so the weight all changed on all of them. Did you notice that? The weight right here, 100. If I didn't change it in all of them, ooh, that's definitely too small. This looks better. The logo could be a little bigger here, I think.
Did you show what options you set for the tablet?
What's that?
Did you show what options you set for the tablet in terms of font size?
I use 200, 1.4. I don't know. Still not liking this font. I don't know.